From the Fox 26 crime files this week, we start with a particularly brutal robbery where a husband and wife were pistol whipped by a man that they thought was a customer. Fox 26's Gabby Hart has more.
I know y'all have more. There's more, right?
I don't.
Bro, is there more?
I really don't know.
There's not, I promise you. I swear to God. I swear to God.
On Tuesday afternoon, a man walked into Entire X located on Houston's north side, pretending to be a customer.
A set of 4 installed, you'd be at $654. Yeah.
But moments later, he violently pistol whipped the man behind the desk.
Oh my God!
You can see and hear the panic in these victims' voices as they realized what was happening.
Okay. All the money. Behind the register, everything.
I have an immense amount of anger inside of me, more than I've ever felt before.
Mike Hastings is the owner of Entire X. He's also the husband of the woman you see in this video and the brother of the man who was pistol whipped.
That split him open pretty good. And as he fell over, he hit him 2 more times, breaking his finger.
Mike was nearby working on a vehicle when the robbery happened.
To feel like I was so close but so far for so long, that breaks me.
After the robber got about $1,000 from the register, he demanded their keys, phones, and wallets.
You have a wallet?
My wallet's upstairs, I swear.
Go get it. Cool. You too, cool. Follow. Hurry up.
When Steven got his wallet, he also grabbed his gun, but he wanted to wait his opportunity because my wife was in the crosshairs. Sometimes compliance is the best strategy. Wait your turn. If you get one, great. If you don't, give them what they want.
When they came back downstairs, a real customer had just walked in. Mike's wife, who was in front of the suspect, told him to run. The crook ran out right after. He got into a white pickup truck with 2 male accomplices inside. Take a close look at this vehicle and at this face. A violent criminal still on the loose in our community.
What would you say to him?
That as angry and hurt as I am at what happened to my brother and my wife, that I hope his life gets better. And if he has family, if he has loved ones, I hope he understands that putting this kind of evil into the world is what can bring that evil back around to him.
Some very scary moments here caught on camera during a home invasion over in southwest Houston. First, you see a group of masked men kick in a man's apartment door on West Belfort near Gessner. The man inside heard the noises and grabbed his handgun, pointing it at them as they tried to enter. He told police the men said HPD as they entered, armed with their own guns. The tenant says he knew they weren't cops, so he fired several rounds at them and they took off. No one was hit by the gunfire. Well, family and friends are mourning a husband and wife run over and killed over on Westheimer, just west of the Galleria area. Cedric and Ann Barrett were hit and killed while crossing Westheimer near Green Ridge Sunday night. The man charged now with killing them was actually just released from jail on bond less than 2 weeks ago. Fox 26's Dominique Keith has that story.
And I was saying, oh my God, oh my God.
Helplessly and in horror, Donna Esparza Gonzalez watched as her best friend spent her last moments alive.
And I was calling out to God because I said in a moment like that, that's the only person to me that can do anything.
Cedric and Ann Barrett were at a Brazilian steakhouse on Westheimer catching up with friends Sunday night because they recently moved back to Houston. They walked across the street to another eatery to celebrate someone's birthday, and on the way back to their car, the couple made it to the median with Gonzalez and another friend, then attempted to continue across Westheimer in front of a vehicle that didn't seem to be that close at first.
That's when the car started going really fast. And all of a sudden, when they hit them, it was like an explosion.
27-year-old Donovan Dante Harris is now behind bars, charged with 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter. Harris was just recently released from jail on bond after being charged with aggravated assault on March 15th.
Me and Ann both have kids around this guy's age. And I tell them, you know what, if you want to drink, stay home.
That man don't know what he took. He don't know that.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I just want justice.
So please do not drink and drive because everyone suffers behind this.
Darlene Kearney officiated the Barrett's wedding on Valentine's Day last year.
Just a lovely couple, you know, and for this tragedy to happen, it just breaks my heart.
In fact, the Barretts were talking about and still celebrating their one-year anniversary at the restaurant with friends before they were killed.
The love that they had for each other, and it just like, it breaks my heart for both of these to die, to get married together. You know, like they say, till death do you part, and then they are here and they die together. It's wrong. It's a tragedy.
Well, the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office is on the lookout for a man accused of a sexual assault on a walking trail. Now, this happened at 3 in the afternoon. Fox 26's Tiffany Justice has more from Fresno.
Our neighbor called and said that someone was assaulted at a park and that the police might be knocking on the door for the camera footage.
Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office now looking for a man in connection to a sexual assault after they were contacted by a female who was walking along this retention pond in Fresno. She tells police she was walking when an unknown male physically tackled her to the ground and sexually assaulted her. News of the alleged attack spreading through the neighborhood.
It makes me feel kind of uncomfortable because I have 2 teen boys and 1 teen daughter. So they like to come early in the morning and walk on the track, so I just make sure they stay in the house.
The alleged attack happened on March 22nd during the day around 2:45 in the afternoon. This is the man deputies are now looking for. They describe him as a black male with darker complexion, dark short hair above the ear in dread-like style. Between the ages of 18 and 19 years old, weighing approximately 185 pounds and 5'6" in height. A suspect at the time was wearing a red polo-style shirt, dark-colored pants, and black shoes. Fort Bend County Sheriff Eric Fagan saying nobody deserves to feel unsafe in their neighborhood, especially when they're going out for a walk. If you have seen this man or know his whereabouts, please call Crime Stoppers immediately.
How did something happen in the broad daylight?
Well, he's just 21, charged with capital murder and has a string of robbery charges, yet he's financially able to post $1,600,000 in bonds. I know I couldn't do that. Well, here's Randy Wallace.
He spread nothing but joy his entire life. He could light up a room instantly with a smile.
Josh's light was diminished too soon because of the negligence of the court systems.
Amy Castillo can point to 3 criminal court judges who she says ignored all the signs and kept granting bonds to 21-year-old Devin Jordan. She doesn't have her 28-year-old brother Joshua Sandoval anymore. She carries this picture instead.
This is a picture of me holding my brother's hand hours before we had to let him go.
In 2019, Jordan got his first bond for aggravated robbery in Fort Bend County. Even though it was revoked and reinstated twice, that didn't stop 339th Criminal District Court Judge Tavia Bell from granting Jordan more bonds. He quickly violated the conditions, like not getting a monitoring device. Instead of filing a warrant for his arrest, Judge Bell ordered Jordan to appear in court May 27th of last year. He didn't show. Instead, police say he spent that day killing Sandoval during a robbery.
He died at 28 years old. It is time for us to fight back. And the judges need to face the facts and wake up. No bond for repeat violent felony offenders.
Jordan is charged with his first capital murder and lands in the 185th Harris County Criminal District Court Judge Jason Lawong's court. Since the charge is capital murder, Lawong could have denied bond. Instead, he set it at $500,000, and Jordan got out. Then last December, he picks up his second capital murder charge in the robbery shooting death of 58-year-old League City businessman Jeffrey Johnson. Galveston County 56th District Court Judge Lonnie Cox also could have denied Jordan bond. He set it at $1 million instead. Jordan is now a free man.
He told me in Harris County they're lenient here, but in Galveston County they're going to hold him. And for him to be on the street today, I'm in disbelief. I'm shocked.
I never thought that this would be how Josh's life would end. And it's crazy to think that you're safe because you're not.
Quite the message from a mother whose teen was killed 2 weeks ago. To the accused drunk driver who's now been arrested, as Fox 26's Dominique Keith has that for us.
Through tears and heartbreak, Tatiana Murphy had plenty to say about the woman now accused of crashing into Murphy's son and killing him on Lake Olympia Drive.
I'm saddened for her children.
The parents of 18-year-old Carl Spivey III are left in unbearable pain after the Hightower senior was killed 2 weeks ago while driving to a friend's house. And they were stunned to find out the woman arrested for their son's murder had a similar wreck a few years back. Investigators say Ashley Manslaughter was driving drunk with her 14-year-old daughter in the vehicle, going 83 miles an hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone when they say she smashed into Spivey on March 12th. Also, according to this police report, in 2013, Manslaughter was texting while driving and hit a tree with her 5-year-old in the vehicle. The report goes on to say officers smelled alcohol, but Manslaughter was not charged that time.
I'm not sure what she's going through. 'Cause she has to be going through something to do something like that. Trying to escape her life.
I would like to see her never get out, we lost our son, and I feel she should lose her freedom. Someone that could be this careless, they don't need to be on the streets, period.
Manslaughter is now out of jail on a $100,000 bond. I was unable to reach her for comment. In Missouri City, I'm Damalee Keith, Fox 26 News.
A father gunned down in front of his son. All they were doing was washing their car. Fox 26's Tiffany Justice looks at just what happened.
He absolutely had no chance of surviving, no chance of fighting for his life, no chance of running. It just makes you question, how safe is Houston?
The family of a Houston man murdered in front of his son, speaking with Fox 26 in search of answers. The shooting happening in West Houston off of South Dairy Ashford Road. The family says Charles Dade, 51, was with his son Daniel Montague at a self-serve car wash when they were approached by two men in ski masks.
One guy snuck up from the back, and another guy was in front of him. So they both shot him. So he received bullets from the back, and he received bullets from the front. And he saw them shoot and kill his father. And after they finished and killed his father, they say, where the other one at?
Houston police say the suspects were two black men who approached and attempted to rob them at gunpoint. One suspect began pistol whipping the son. He was able to run away but was shot in the leg. The second suspect then shot his father, killing him. Dade's cousin, Darren Crumity, astonished by how brazen this crime was.
If you see the store and the car wash and it's a police station, the next light over, these guys were bold because they did it knowing that the police station was right across the street down the sidewalk. They did it, other people were at the car wash.
Crumity says Dade was a pillar for the family, a caring guy who was killed right down the road of a Montessori school he runs with his wife.
They didn't just take a branch from the family tree, they took the root.
That was Tiffany Justice reporting. Well, the deadline to file your tax return is approaching fast, but watch out. Complaints of tax scams are on the rise, and scammers are stealing people's tax refunds. Consumer reporter Heather Sullivan has some smart sense to protect yourself.
The IRS says beware. Thieves are stealing personal information and filing tax returns for unsuspecting taxpayers to steal their refunds. They're doing it with stolen data from the hacking of so many business databases in recent years, as well as phishing emails, texts, and phone calls. Security firm BrandShield says it's seen hundreds in the past few weeks, and the Federal Trade Commission explains in this video.
They'll call, email, or text you, claiming you owe back taxes or there's a problem with your tax return. They even rig caller ID to make their call look official.
This is where victims fall prey.
They play on your fears. They threaten to take your driver's license or sue, arrest, or deport you. They want you to pay fast.
Plus, the IRS and the Identity Theft Resource Center are warning that tax professionals are being targeted with spear phishing scams, emails and links to fake tax prep websites with the subject line, "Action required, your account has now been put on hold." When the tax preparer logs in, the scammers steal their credentials and their clients' information to file fraudulent tax returns. Here are some signs that tax fraud could be happening to you. You can't e-file because of a duplicate Social Security number. You get an IRS notice that an online account has been created or accessed without your knowledge. Or you receive an IRS notice that you owe additional tax or a refund offset that you weren't expecting.
Now, Heather's advice, file your tax return early. The IRS won't call, text, or email you, so don't give out your personal information. Choose a tax prepper with a valid IRS prepare tax identification number, and also ask how they'll protect your information. Very important tips there. Well, one of the big shockers of the week was when nearly 300 defendants arrested for various crimes and awaiting probable cause hearings were set free. Yes, free. Fox 26's Brandy Wallace has that story only on Fox.
Now, in my 25 years, I've never seen a system go down like this.
The system in question is called JWEB. It's what prosecutors use for criminal cases. In this order, Magistrate Courtney St. Julian states the court finds JWEB was not operational from March 24th at 7 p.m. until March 26th at 9 p.m. More than 280 in custody have not received a probable cause hearing.
Which means that about 280 or around 300 people were sitting in the Harris County Jail without having seen a magistrate.
Law requires defendants receive a probable cause hearing within 48 hours. In her ruling, the magistrate points out, due to this insurmountable backlog, more than 280 defendants be released from jail. Many defendants got personal recognizance bonds.
And per the court's order, some people that were accused of a crime under a certain statute got their bond set at $10,000 immediately, notwithstanding if they had prior criminal history or not.
And it didn't matter if the charge was burglary or murder. Everyone was apparently released with no bond conditions.
None of the people who were released are really under any conditions. There's no ankle monitors, there's no GPS, there's no distance, there's zero, nothing, and we don't know who these offenders are.
It's possible that there's a lot of people roaming around out there that don't know when they're supposed to come back to court and don't know what they are or not supposed to do when they're on bond.
In a statement, the Harris County DA's office tells us, quote, the latest Harris County Universal Services computer system failure has the full attention of the district attorney, police chief, and sheriff because it resulted in the temporary release of accused criminals. The safety of the public, security of our criminal justice system, and efficiency of our courts demand that the county give Universal Services the resources to fix this and ensure it never happens again.
And now to the fallout after our Only on Fox report. Fox 26's Greg Rugen follows up with local political and police leaders.
As first reported by Fox 26, the automatic release of nearly 300 criminal suspects following a computer system malfunction has triggered a cascade of protests from top elected leaders.
So it's just a real mess, and what really concerns me is, where's the alarm?
No one was more outraged than State Senator John Whitmire. The longtime chairman of the Upper Chamber's Criminal Justice Committee questioned why no functional backup was in place for a system critical to public safety. With hundreds of suspects released back on the street, he accused the responsible county leaders of placing both the lives of citizens and law officers in jeopardy.
What does it do to the morale of the deputy sheriffs and police departments in our city and counties? They're going to have to arrest the same people again. Those suspects are going to know they're coming, so they're going to take drastic measures, and it's going to endanger the public and the officers. So we need everyone involved at every level of local government, starting at the courthouse, to be alarmed.
This is 280 at one time. You better lock your doors, you better load your guns, and you better protect your car.
Longtime police union leader Ray Hunt is furious at the magistrate who authorized the mass release and the resulting impact it will have on the morale of his members and the safety of the citizens they serve.
Houston is very dangerous now with 280 more people out there who know we're looking for them, who know they got out on a technicality, who know they're not going to work, and are out here doing their job, and we know what their job is. But you can bet you there's going to be somebody else in there who in 2 or 3 weeks from now you're going to be saying, this person who was released in that 280 is responsible for killing this person. that's what's going to happen, and we all know it.
Senator Whitmire says crime and eroding public safety have eclipsed every other challenge facing Harris County, and solving the increasingly chronic problem must become the very top priority of all elected leaders. In the newsroom, Greg Grugan, Fox 26 News.
Police officer who was stabbed as he tried to stop a man from exposing himself. Officer Nate Williams was off duty when he walked into the restaurant on Telephone Road in Southeast Houston, and he found a man exposing himself to other diners and tried to escort him out. Well, as he did, police say the man stabbed Officer Williams. The suspect ran off before police got there. Officer Williams is out of the hospital and is going to be okay. Well, there's a lot to stay on top of for weeks to come. That's what's this week on Fox 26 Crime Files.